Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Agnes. I am a machine learning engineer by profession. So I have been thinking about making this video for a long time, and in this video I'll be sharing my experience working as a machine learning engineer or working in artificial intelligence in the tech industry. I know that a lot of people are getting into AI, learning coding. Even people are switching from other domains and even from other careers to AI and machine learning. And there are a lot of courses out there which promise you this huge packages after learning data science. So I just want to share my experience working in AI. So I will give you a little bit of background and context. My banks are like totally out of proportion. How did this even happen? I don't know how this happened. Just entirely, obviously two different links. I'm just gonna hide it. Anyway, I'll just give you a little bit of background. So I started coding when I was about 16. So I am from Kerala and I studied state syllabus, not CBSE, not ICSE, nothing, but I studied state syllabus English medium from 5th standard till then I was studying in Malayalam medium, and then I switched to English medium. Pretty good at doing stuff on the computer, even standard or so. Even from school I was pretty good at learning complicated stuff, so I had the confidence that I can learn pretty much any subject. And in school they want you to score good marks in all the subjects, so they tell you that everybody can learn anything, everybody is the same, so you can learn anything if you put your mind into it, which is true to a point. But I think right now I think that people do have natural talents. Some people are drawn towards math, some people are drawn towards biology, some people are drawn towards arts. So it is there. So it's always better to nurture your talents and just be, if you can nurture your talents and be good at that thing that makes you irreplaceable. Because we are in this era where the only way to stand out is authenticity. It's always better to be yourself and do the job that interests you. Now, to a point, I'm doing this video for people who are looking into, especially engineering graduates, students who are looking into getting into an AI. To give you a little background, I started coding when I was 16. I was in my 11th standard, and after 10th I chose computer science as my main. And so it's like you replace biology with computer science, and then the rest of the subjects are there. This math, physics, chemistry, English, Malayalam, and computer science. 6 subjects. It's either Malayalam or Hindi, but I really like Malayalam literature and I just opted for Malayalam. Anyway, so that's the subjects in 11th standard in Kerala syllabus. So that's when I really started studying computer science from a theoretical perspective, and the languages in school were C++ and a little bit of SQL, the basic commands. And honestly, I didn't get coding then. I thought it was a bit dry, boring. Yeah, but the theoretical part of computer science did excite me because it's like it is another world. There's a lot of noise in the background. So it's like this another world of machines who speaks different language, and it did excite me because I don't know why, it just did excite me. And I obviously chose engineering because once you at that point, I'm from a hill station in Kerala called Idukki, which is like it's kind of a remote place, but right now it's much more accessible. But at that time, it was 10 years ago, so was not that accessible, so I didn't have any real guidance in terms of career either. So people tell you things like, if you score good marks in 10th, then your life is secure. If you score good marks in 12th, then it's gonna make your life better. If you get admission in a professional college, that's all you have to do. The companies are gonna hire you just like that, since you studied in a professional college. Let me tell you, it's all a lie. First of all, remember that. We'll get back to that after a while. So why I picked computer science is not, I did like trying things on computer, like designing stuff, designing posters and creating art and things like that. And why I picked computer science is not because I was particularly interested in coding or anything. I was just not, at the time I thought, because I didn't have any guidance, I thought there were only two real jobs, which is, one is engineer, one is doctor. So I didn't want to be a doctor, so my other option is engineer, which is, you know how wrong that is. I know now. So it's just that's why I chose engineer. Tragic, I know. So when I say I started coding, I just got introduced to the concept of computer science, and I already said that, and with a little bit of C++, SQL and stuff. So there was something wrong with the way they taught us, I guess, because I didn't quite understand it, or I was interested but I couldn't understand it from textbooks, which is the truth. So after choosing computer science as an option, my only option is engineering in my head. So I just went for the entrance. I didn't prepare for a year or anything like that. There's a hen in our neighbor's house. Yeah, which is pretty cool. By the way, this is not a rural place. It's a pretty urban environment, suburbs kind of vibe. There's a hen. Anyway, so I gave the entrance. I got in. I prepared for the entrance through a crash course, and I got the engineering entrance, and I got a good rank for a student who just did a 2-week crash course. I did score well, so I got confident from the fact that I can do it. That's when I felt that. So in 2013 I joined engineering. So engineering is a 4-year course here in India in BTech. So I was thinking of picking electronics. I was a pretty outdoorsy kid, so I'm an introvert, but I do like being outdoors, exploring nature and all those kinds of stuff. So I thought electronics engineers wouldn't be doing all the geeky stuff, sitting in front of the computer all day. So I thought I would pick electronics and not computer science. That was also, most of the electronics engineers do work in IT, doesn't matter. Anyway, I applied for, in the options, I applied for computer science, electronics and IT. IT was like IT is basically computer science. I don't know why they started IT. It's not easier than computer science or anything, but people think it's easier than computer science for some reason. At least not in NG University. The syllabus is pretty much a shuffled version of computer science and a little bit more of electronics. That was the syllabus then. Now it's changed, I guess. Anyway, that's the IT part. And then on the first allotment, I got IT because I didn't have such a great score or rank. So I got IT, and then I went to. So if you get admission, you have to join that college, and then you have to change the college. when the next allotment comes. That's how the system used to work then. I think maybe that's how it's right now also, I don't know. I went to join IT, and they told me that if you join IT, you are getting a full scholarship. You don't have to pay any tuition fees, and your engineering is basically free, which is very cool, because at that time we were not financially that stable. Luckily my parents are doing better now, but at that time we were in some sort of a financial crisis, and I didn't want to take any loans or stuff. So I was so grateful for that. I joined IT. So I joined IT anyway. And the classes were okay. I was a good student. I mean, it was a government college, so they don't teach you everything. They don't give you, notes for every topic. So you have to read text and make your own notes and understand things from the internet, and then just cover the syllabus yourself. That was the thing which was, it was okay for me. I am pretty good at understanding complex things, and I just love note making. Like, I have this ritual of creating notes before exams, which helped me a lot. And making short notes was kind of my thing back then, and I did very well. So after 4 years, we have 56 papers to clear, and without any supplementary or arrears, I just cleared everything with pretty much good marks. Then that's when the real struggle started. So that's when I realized I was always a good student, because I know how to write exams and make notes. But I never thought about the big picture after college. My plan was to just that's when the film Happy Days came out a few years before. So I think so, because I remember the fact that after watching Happy Days, you think like, you are gonna get a job anyway if you're studying engineering. It's just some companies gonna pick you without any thinking that you just have to study engineering. So that's what my thought was, and it's completely wrong. So why I chose engineering is, I already told you that my family was in a bit of financial crisis back then, and I just wanted to get a job, and I also felt stuck in that place. So my parents live in the mountains, and it's kind of a very remote place compared to the rest of Kerala, and I really felt stuck at the place. I just wanted to get out sooner, get a job, and get some money to buy the stuff I want and move on with my life. Didn't think so much. So engineering is like 4 years, and then you get a job. If you go for a degree, you probably have to take a master's and then go for B.Ed or something and become a teacher. And that was the thinking back then. I didn't know, because all this happened because there was no career counseling or anything. Plan in one word is to like get into college, get a job, pack your bags, go. So but after after engineering, so I completed engineering in 2017, and unfortunately there was no placements in our campus during that year. I don't know why. People were going outside to other drives, to other campuses for drives, and then there were a few people got job right out of college, and people are struggling, and there was no placement for, I don't know why. It's just so the whole plan just got shattered. So I had to move back with my parents in Kochi, and I just left the hostel. So during that time, all I got was, I have a degree and I have a bunch of really good friends. friends, and my degree was not a waste of time. I wouldn't say that, because uh, that's, you know, I was in a hostel, and I got to spend my 4 years with people from different backgrounds and with different concepts, and learned a lot about life from all those kids basically. And I'm so grateful for all the friends I got from hostel. It's a great time. But apart from the job perspective, and I moved back with my parents, and my parents were like, it's okay, I mean, it takes time, getting a job takes time, and you are just what, I was just 21 when I completed BTech, and it's okay to be, you know, not have a job. It will eventually happen. But my biggest struggle was all the interviews where, I mean, work from home was not a normal thing then. So all the interviews were um, offline, and I have to travel back and forth to Kochi for interviews, and it was so tiring, and I eventually got very sick of traveling and all these things. More than that, when I appear for interviews, I noticed one thing, that my uninterest, or my the fact that I'm not focused is obvious to them. So when they ask me, you know, why do you want to work in tech? I didn't know why I want to work in tech. I can't just say that I just want money. My uninterest was very obvious to them. I was obviously feeling very disappointed, very confused. It's all because of the fact that I didn't know what kind of life I wanted. So when my friends get a small job or something, when they move on, I get very irritated, or, you know, very depressed, because, you know, I'm not getting a job, my plan is all gone. But I did not know what I really wanted in life. I did not have any understanding what my values were. So that was the problem back then. I did not explore my interests. So for a few months I did not do anything, and I just spent time with my parents, and I would just cry sitting there, honestly. So my parents would say, it's okay. I have a you know, two sensible people that are, my parents are very sensible people, and I love them. I miss them right now. I was fortunate enough to get you know, them ask my parents. So after a while, I don't have any idea, so I wanted to do something though. So I started preparing for GATE, and you know, during that time I also figured out that I have interest in design, because even as a child, it's so obvious from your childhood. Even as a child, I am drawn towards design, and all my skill sets, all my natural talents are kind of in that area. So I thought maybe I should try design as well. So even if you are completing bachelor's in technology, that means BTech, you can do a master's in design, which is pretty cool. So the course is called MDS, which is like, write it here, MDes, or Masters in Designing. I don't know how to pronounce it anyway. So there's one in NID, National Institute of Design, and they have a separate entrance, and the SEED, which is like the entrance exam for Masters in Designing for IITs. So I also thought about preparing for SEED along with GATE, because SEED is like, there are a very limited number of seats and courses. So I was not very confident, even though, I mean, I'm very detached from, at that point I was very detached from design, and I was so focused on my studies, and so I didn't do any design work during that time. So I was not confident enough. Anyway, I gave GATE, and I prepared for SEED, but I couldn't give SEED because the admission process is also very a little bit complicated, and I stuck with GATE and I got GATE. So with GATE at the time you get stipend and you are basically financially independent. You get enough money to sustain yourself, pay the fees, everything if you chose a government college. And I chose that. After going through a lot of syllabuses, I chose that. So at that time my interest was in cryptography. The time I spent with my parents, I really did my own research, and I figured out that I have this investigative tendency towards things, so I thought cryptography would be a better option for me. But when we started classes, there were so many classes in machine learning as well, and so you can say that by that time I kind of figured out my natural talents, and I was doing a lot of arts again. So it was a pretty good thing that I took a break. Otherwise, I feel like I would have stumbled into a job and I would have gone with the flow, but it did not happen. So when classes started, most of the classes were concentrated on machine learning, and those classes were very exciting for me. So this idea of machines become intelligent, machines learning themselves. So I thought all this time that everything we have to code everything, and it's a tedious process to make anything work. But the machine learning, it's not like that. So the machines learn themselves. The more I get to know about data science. It's also like cryptography. There's that investigative side to data science as well. So I knew that it's a field that's suitable for me. So I got hooked on the idea of the self-learning machines, and it was I'm just lazy, so it's a super interesting idea. That's I would say that's when I really started coding and learning Python and started coding. Then I did so many small projects, both academic and professional projects. So I did so many academic projects as well as personal projects, and it was interesting. Like, it was really fun to do all those projects. And I also met a lot of amazing people during MTech. Some of them, most of them are my good friends. Not most, all of them are my friends. We got this opportunities to attend Smart India Hackathon, and it was in Punjab, and we went there, and it was an amazing experience. So we built a machine learning model to detect lightning, to predict lightning. So it was amazing. So after college, with all that experience, I got an internship in TCS in one of the labs, and the project was in NLP, and I worked there as an intern for like a year, and completed the project and completed my MTech. And after that I got placed in TCS itself, and that's where I work now. I work in TCS Research and Innovation, and I work for a lab. So it's kind of like a startup inside this big organization. If you are in India, you know how big TCS is. Like, it has like 5 lakh employees, and it's a pretty big organization. 5 lakh is basically 500,000 employees. So currently I work as a machine learning engineer. Even there, so I am working as a machine learning engineer. So I have done so many interesting projects, and my day is never the same. There are situations where I get burned out. I have struggles. I have huge imposter syndrome, because everything we have to do in the lab is kind of based on research, and there are no out of the box solutions. We have to think, we have to create everything, and even if you are not feeling like that, you have to show up So that's the kind of energy you have to have. And one quality to survive in today's tech industry is that you have to unlearn so many things and learn new skills so fast. So that's pretty important. So it can get very, it can get very hectic. It's not all rainbows and unicorns. It can get pretty difficult at times. So that's why I feel like most of the jobs in this era are kind of like that, because all the mundane jobs are getting automated. The main projects are in NLP, computer vision, and automation. All these mundane tasks are going to get automated. If you don't have interest in the field you are working, or if you're just doing it for the sake of work, it's hard to sustain. It's not going to be sustainable, and it's difficult to grow in such a field. So you have to figure out your own signature. You have to figure out that your interests and nurture that interest and see where it goes. So the moral of the story is that don't go with the flow all the time, because others say this is what you gotta do. It may not be the right way for you. You as an individual has so many. Everyone in this world is unique. So everyone has their natural talents and their ambitions and their values. So unless you try something, you don't know. So my suggestion is that try everything and see if it interests you, and explore more things. Be open to change, be open to learn new things, and design the life you want. You have to put in work and figure out that thing you are going to be passionate about. So passion is a complicated word. I feel like people overdo the word passion. Oh, this is the video about young people who is confused about making a decision regarding their career. Maybe it will help you. I'm not so sure. I'm just 26 years old, and I am not the one. I'm not experienced enough to give a wholesome advice regarding life. A few things I got from working in tech is that I got to meet a lot of amazing people, exceptionally brilliant people, and it just, as a person, it helps me grow. And I feel like figuring out the life you want is one thing. That's one you have to do first. That's where you have to do a lot of reflection on yourself, and you have to try new things. And trying is not imagining. When you imagine that you become a doctor, and it's just so glamorous, it's a lot of money, it's a lot of fame, stuff like that, you or a model. The description I just said is not for a doctor. I don't know why I said that. Anyway, I think you got what I meant. Okay, so do try everything and not just imagine things, which you can, if you can get an internship first, it's always better. So just give it a try and then get into a profession, or invest money into a profession. I feel like this talk is very disorganized. I tried to be very organized. I have all my points on my still I feel it's a bit disorganized. I don't know, we'll see after editing how it looks, but I feel pretty confident, and I feel like I'm going to publish this because I feel like I'm getting good at talking to a camera, but I'm not. I really enjoy it, but I'm not the best person to do that. So also English is not my mother tongue, but I feel like a lot of people who works with me are non-Malayalis. So my mother tongue is Malayalam, and if I do videos in Malayalam, I feel like I won't be connecting with so many people in my demographic and so many people. So I'm just doing it in English. Anyway, we are using English most of the time. you during work and during pretty much everything. It's the global language, and the world is growing into this global community, and that's what I like about tech. Oh, I didn't say this. So now I really know what tech work, why I want to work in tech, because technology is that one thing made the biggest difference in my life. So I could connect with people, you know, anywhere in the world pretty much using the internet, and there's a lot of cool stuff on the internet, and it's the world is growing into this big community. So that's what I love about tech. And technology has this amazing power. There's a lot of dark side to technology, I know that, but technology has this amazing power to make a big global impact. So that's why I love working in tech. That's one of the. There are disadvantages, but I think I will probably discuss that in other video. My throat feels pretty dry. So anyway, that's enough rambling for today, I guess. So if you enjoy the video, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'm enjoying this YouTube thing very much, so I think I'll be posting videos every week. So I'm just experimenting with when to publish. It's mostly on Fridays and Saturdays. I'm just experimenting with the time slot, with views, how can I reach more people. So but there will be a video every week, so stay tuned, subscribe. Bye, see you in the next video.